Gandhiji was the apostle of ahimsa, non-violence. And there is one place, one territory in this country where non-violence is completely at a discount. It is the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Let me begin with a quotation. And I'll not tell you now where I am quoting from. And I quote, "Perhaps there is more discontent today amongst the people of the state than at any earlier time. There is more anti-India feeling among them than before." Another quote from the same source goes like this, and I quote, "To think that we will eventually wear down the people and force them to accept, at least passively, the Union of India, is to delude ourselves." And the third quote from the same source reads as follows, and I quote, "It will be a suicide of the soul of India if India tried to suppress the Kashmiri people by force." Now you might think that these are quotes from some recent report. This is a quote, or these are quotes from Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan, who took a great deal of interest in the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. And these are quotes from his public speech and a letter that he wrote to the then Prime Minister, Srimati Indira Gandhi, way back in 1966. 1966, that's 51 years ago. And in 51 years, things have only gone from bad to worse. We were all encouraged greatly when the BJP-PDP alliance government was formed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir some 2.5 years ago. A person like me was encouraged because the agenda of alliance, the work program of this government, was extremely encouraging. I had the honor of serving in the cabinet of Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And when I noticed that in the agenda of alliance, it was publicly declared that we will follow the same path. Naturally, a person like me was even doubly encouraged. The agenda of alliance is dated March 1, 20. The very first sentence of the agenda of alliance reads as follows, and I quote, "The PDP and the BJP have entered into a governance alliance based on an agreement and agenda which is an effort towards seeking a national reconciliation in Jammu and Kashmir. The purpose of this alliance, it says, is to form a coalition government that will be encouraged to catalyze reconciliation and confidence building within and across the line of control in J&K, thereby ensuring peace in the state. This in turn will create an enabling environment for all-round economic development of the state and prosperity of the people. At another place, the Agenda of Alliance says, and I quote, "The earlier NDA government, led by Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, had initiated a dialogue process with all political groups, including the Hurriyat Conference, in the spirit of Insaniyat, Kashmiriyat, and Jamhuriyat. Following the same principles, the coalition government will facilitate and help initiate a sustained and meaningful dialogue with all internal stakeholders, which will include all political groups, irrespective of their ideological views and predilections. The dialogue will seek to build a broad-based consensus on resolution of all outstanding issues of J&K." I'm just quoting a few lines from this March 1, 2015 Agenda of Alliance to emphasize that in the long history of this suffering state, and let's not forget that Jammu and Kashmir issue has been the longest unfortunate problem or issue which has been with us since our own independence. We should also remember that Jammu and Kashmir was the only Muslim majority state, which rejected Pakistan and the idea of Pakistan in 1947 to accede to India. And it's not merely a question of this government or that government. It is unfortunate that over the last 70 years, successively, by each government, we have let down the people of that unfortunate state. And today, when you go there, interact with them, then they tell you a few things. The first is, we have always been in denial of the problem of Jammu and Kashmir. We just refuse to recognize the problem, at least the nature of the problem. The second is a very strong feeling of betrayal. And the third is an equally strong feeling of discrimination. And when you are laboring under these feelings, then even small little things are blown out of proportion into much bigger issues. So the Prime Minister of India, if he travels to a state to condole the death of a leader and does not go to Jammu and Kashmir, anywhere in the country, use it only in Kashmir, then these things are noticed. If you kill innocents, then we know, we have seen what the reaction is. I went to the valley at the height of the unrest which had followed the killing of Burhan Wani last year. I went there with a group of concerned citizens because we wanted to convey the feeling that the people of India care, that there is a distinction between the people and the government, and that the people of India really cared. We met with a very large number of individuals, organizations, associations. No door was closed on us when we went to Srinagar. Then we went again a couple of months later, in December last year, and we traveled around, mind you, without any security. We traveled in taxis to various places in the valley, even most terror, militancy stricken places, and again met with a large number of people. We met with the youth of Jammu and Kashmir. And I remember in one such meeting, a young person told us something which I have not been able to forget. He said, the government of India and the state government have made a tremendous contribution to our psyche. And he went on to say, now the youth of Kashmir have lost all fear of death. We are not afraid of death. And will resist the injustice, even if we have to be killed or lay down our lives in the process. People told us that for 4 generations now, they have been living under the shadow of the security forces. And you only have to go out in Srinagar and other places to realize how heavy the security deployment is. And how much it influences, impacts on the daily lives of the people. Girls going to the schools, people going to the markets, going about their daily chores, have all the shadow of the presence of the security forces. I don't think in any other part of India we could have lived for 4 generations, for 70 years in this kind of a stifling atmosphere. Of course there is terrorism. Of course there is Pakistan breathing down our neck in Jammu and Kashmir. Of course Pakistan is exporting terror along the international, from along the international or across the international border or the line of control. We have issues with Pakistan. But we also have issues with our own people, the people we call the citizens of this country in Jammu and Kashmir. I noticed when I interacted with the people, that if there is one politician that they remember very fondly and speak very highly of, even today, that one politician or a statesman is Atal Bihari Vajpayee.